Hi, I'm Gavin. I'm a student at the University of Texas.
Gavin, how are you?
Doing well. How are you? Congrats on the film.
Thank you.
So my first question, the protagonist of this film is a psychologist, which I understand you have a bit of a background in. And so, what was it like to kind of weave that personal experience into the story? And were there any other elements that came from that, deeply personal place?
That's a great question. Thank you. Yes, I do. I actually have 2 degrees in psychology. My undergrad is from UGA, so go dogs. And then I went to get my master's at University of Maryland. And what struck me about this whole thing was when I dated my narcissist, I was in my graduate program learning about psychology, and I still didn't know what I was up against. I didn't know that there were different types of narcissists and how they present and things like that. So now, many years later, this is much more in the zeitgeist and people are more, aware of what narcissism is. But being able to sort of rely on psychology in the script, for me, has always been what has attracted me to screenwriting, because really all movies are about human problem solving. And if they solve it at the end and they become a better person, it's a comedy. And if they don't learn how to solve it, it's a tragedy. So I feel like someone famous once said, it slips my mind who said it, but I'll remember as soon as I walk to the next person, but is that it is an empathy generating machine is what movies are, and that's how we connect. And so to come to a theater, to laugh together, cry together, heal together, that's what I would hope this movie will do for people.
And so you kind of established a bit of a style for these really funny women-led buddy comedy movies, and I'm curious what keeps bringing you back to that buddy format, or almost road trip style?
Yeah, I think it's because it's just born out of the conversations I have with my girlfriends and the conversations I had with my writing partner on those pieces, Jenna Milley. She's the funniest person I've ever met, and we would just banter and banter and banter. So I feel like returning to the idea that women and female friendships are so important to who we are as humans. That's why I really like writing about women, funny women doing crazy and amazing things. Yeah.
And so my last question is, if you were to talk to a young filmmaker who was stepping on set tomorrow for the first time, what last-minute advice would you give them?
Just believe in yourself that you can do it. Don't be the person that tells yourself no. Just walk in there confidently and give it your best shot. And if you succeed, fantastic. If you fail, well, what a ride, right?
There's too many. It depends on what they do. If they're a director, I would say stick to your guns. There's too many directors, and if you're just trying to prove that you can do things the same way as everyone else, that probably won't be the thing that will make you stand out. I think what will make you stand out as any type of filmmaker is your own, personality and the way you see things. So I would say don't be afraid to do things differently. As a cinematographer, I would say trust your director, especially if they are the kind of director who sticks to their guns and have a very specific voice. I think specificity is really what can make a movie be special.
So, first question, can you tell us a little bit about your character in the film and the role that you play?
Yes, so I play Tyler, and I'm the ex-boyfriend to the lead. They described me as the one that got away. I still harbor feelings for her, and I don't think it's over. And I try to disrupt things to make sure that it's not over. Kind of like a sounding board to her and a safe place. She calls me in need when she thinks she's making the wrong decision, and he's just that safe place for her where he can, speak advice to her, and, so I think so.
I am the mother of the narcissist, so I guess I have to take some responsibility for creating the narcissist in him. But I don't see it that way as the character. I see it as I love him. He's perfect. He's wonderful. Anybody would be, lucky to marry him. So, and I'm sad to see him go. I think a lot of the movie for me is just sad to see him go.
Were there any other films or other performances that inspired your take on this film, or were there any places that you were kind of drawing from when you were creating this character?
That's a good question. Yeah, I just told the other guy, I've seen a lot of this play out like over my years of watching film, and I've always loved, the big ensembles that come in and disrupt. Like, I have an objection. You shouldn't marry this guy. And I have to say Matthew McConaughey, definitely. He's done it in quite a bit of films. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know that specific take in so many films to where you're like, she's making a mistake, he's making a mistake, and it takes that one person to bring it to their...
Well, I have a son who's 32, and I do adore him. I didn't raise him quite the way I think a narcissist mother would. I made him take responsibility. Single mom, so he had to pull his weight, make his own bed, get dressed, wash his clothes, wash his face, etc. All that stuff without me, like walking around. But I married a narcissist, so yeah, we're not married anymore. But and his mother, even though I loved him very much, it was quite clear that she had a lot to do with it. Anyway.
Was there anything about this film that challenged you as an actor?
I would have to say, yeah. There was a point when we were filming me and Sierra, and to really let the cup fill up and not overflow, in meanings of, emotion or tears, to really fight for her, but actually try and fight for what I want, but not to push her. Because there was a thin line, because it was like, okay, this movie is called You're Dating a Narcissist. So I didn't want to come off as a narcissist, because then you would give the audience an idea of like, oh, this is why she left this guy, or this is why she's not with this guy, to where it's like you got to play that thin line of, no, I want what's best for you, but also I want to give you my feelings and give you how I truly feel about you. So that was kind of hard to juggle and go back and forth with, but Anne-Marie, she really got me to that place, and it was good.
Every role is challenging in that you want to make it as grounded and authentic as possible. It was funny, which is kind of my thing. So, I just worked with Anne-Marie on how far can I go, and, can we play here? And of course, Marissa Tomei was, very funny, and had some really funny moments with her. So, challenging maybe in that it was raining when we were shooting. We had very little time to shoot. There was no, not a lot of days to, luxuriate in each take. We had to pretty much get it done. So that's the challenge, so you have to really just be ready with your stuff and deliver every time. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations on the film.
Thank you.